Hello Mark, I'm Kiwi Chen Pingyu. My number is 31.
Hello Mark, my name is Julia Chen Cai. My student number is 33.
Hi Mark, I'm Daniel Jiang Hongxun. My student number is 35 and we are junior.
And today we are talking about a documentary about my imported wife.
And let's start. And its first question is, do you think Navy is a good wife?
I think in certain degree she is because she is willing to take care of the family, even though we know Huang Nai Wei he has the disability, but she still I think she doesn't seem she how to say that she is still wants to support him, like when he goes out to make money, and she take care everything in the family.
And in my opinion, I think I agree with Kiwi's opinions. And I think maybe Navy is a good wife because we know Huang has some problems in his brain and he cannot do everything by himself. So in the film we can see Navy help Huang wear his coat, and maybe sometimes she need to use spoons to feed Huang. So I think maybe in some degree she is a good wife, but in another way I think she take money seriously, and sometimes they have fight about money problems. So I think in terms of money, maybe she is not a good wife.
And I think Navy is a good wife because she is from the foreign country. And I think the first difficulty is she have to adapt herself to Taiwan and adapt herself to the culture. And the second is she and her husband has a daughter.
Yeah.
So I think she's a good wife and good mother because she take care of her child very well. And the third is because she and her husband is different country, so they have to understand each other, and she want to take care her husband because her husband has some kind of disease. So I think she's very great and she's a good wife because she have to solve a lot of problem and take care of her family.
Yeah, and she learned the Mandarin Chinese.
Yeah.
And she speak very fluently.
And I think she
Yeah.
speak very fluently than her husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then my question is, based on Daniel's question, I want to ask, do you think Navy marry Huang for money or for love?
You first.
Okay, I think at first she married Huang for money because we know that her family is poor in Cambodia. Cambodia, sorry. And her family needs money to build a house or something like daily groceries. Yeah. And after they're married and Navy send money back, and she bought many things for her family.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I think after a period of time, maybe she loved Huang. Yeah, because we know time can make maybe two people fall in love with each other.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Oh, I
Your
think
turn.
Navy marry her husband. I think is built on money at first because she is from the foreign country, and her job is to take care kind of the old people or kind of mental problem people. So I think she want the money at first for to support his family. Like you can see in in the movie, in Cambodia, she still have the house in the process of building. So I think the money is important for her, and I think maybe she really fall in love with her husband and they get married then. So I think in this in the end of the movie she also have love and to the marriage.
And I agree with both of your opinions. And I think Navy married Huang just for money because he is from a poor country, Cambodia, and she need money to help his family to finish building up their own house, and she also need money to support her big family with a lot of people, and maybe she also need to pay a lot of money to buy some daily properties or daily things to his kins and relatives. So I think maybe at first she just want money from Huang because maybe in her view Taiwan is richer than Cambodia. So she thinks she can get some money from Taiwan. And after they marry, I think maybe Navy love Huang because they have children. So I think maybe they have love.
Yeah, and I think it's because Huang was buying this marriage. So do you think what do you think about buying a marriage?
I think buying a marriage is very bad because their love and their marriage just built on money,
Yeah.
and maybe actually they didn't love each other, just for one 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 person want the money and other person give them money, and they live to maybe they did not live together, they just
For
with
the contract.
build a relationship with money. So I think the buying a marriage is not good for this in this day, because I think people live together and love and live together they can build in love, not just build on money.
And I agree with Daniel's opinions. And I think if money can solve anything, love cannot be bought by money. And I think because Navy need money, so she married Huang. I think buying marriage is not a moral thing because your relationship just built on money, not love. And it is a practical problem in this world. Many people with some mentally disabled problem or some physically disabled problem tend to buy marriage because maybe normal people did not want to accept it.
Yeah.
So most of them choose to buy a marriage. It seems like a fraud. Yeah.
I think it's a problem between their marriage because Huang always thinks that Navy wants his money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he doesn't trust Navy, and they argue about money every time.
Yeah.
So maybe because of their marriage is built on money.
Yeah.
So Huang cannot like trust or believe Navy is truly love her. Yeah, love him. Yeah.
Okay, my question is, do you think the institution built by Navy's husband can help people in cross-country marriage. Do you know what kind of institution?
I'm not sure the is
Because
what.
the Navy's husband
Yeah.
didn't want the people just marry on money and didn't want the wife from the other country get unfair treatment, so he built a institution.
Like because of their marriage is, um, like they Huang met Navy through an agency, and the agency takes much money, so Huang wants.
One thing is very unfair to people from the cross country marriage.
And in the film, Huang said he gave $10,000 to the agency to buy a marriage, but actually Navy just get $3,000. So
Oh.
it's a big gap.
And the agency take the
Lots
most
of money.
yeah.
So he built this institution to help those people.
But how the institution works?
Help people in cross country marriage can get the fair treatment and
Treatment.
money,
Oh.
not just money taken by other agents.
Oh, so it's like an institution help cross cultural marriage.
Yeah, do you think it can really help people?
I think it can help, but they may have other problems that institution cannot help them.
Yeah, maybe some problems.
What kind of
And
problem?
I think maybe the institution can guarantee the person who gave money to the agency to give the whole money to the person who need to go from the foreign country to Taiwan. Maybe they can guarantee the woman or the man can have the whole money, but maybe the agency will treat the institution. So I think maybe it cannot work very well because we cannot guarantee this kind of things.
Does the institution for like stopping buying a marriage or no? Does the institution is for like stopping buying a marriage?
No, this institution just because the people from the foreign country to do the job, they got the unfair pay. So this institution is mainly to help them to get the fair pay.
I think
You mean
it
like
is
working?
it is
Yeah.
difficult for the institution to make sure people had the proper treatment.
Why?
Because you cannot trust agencies because the agency say, oh, I gave the whole money to the person, but you cannot prove that. Maybe they treat you.
So
We don't know.
I think this institution have some work, but they just like both of you say, they cannot prove this agency have they cannot trust this agency. But I think it's just the beginning of this institution. I think in the future, when the institution is do the great job, they can truly help those people from the foreign country and help them in the cross country marriage, I think.
And my question is, do you think the money problem will cause tension between husband and wife? Because we all know money matters a lot.
Yes, it caused tensions because we saw that Huang and Navy always argue about money, and even though they went back Cambodia together, they still argue with money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huang don't want to get much money to Navy's
family. Yes, like everyone, not everyone. They held a like maybe a lunch.
family reunion.
Yeah, and Huang had to like get them maybe $100
Or some small gifts to them.
Yeah, and Huang thinks Navy is too young, so he thinks she doesn't care about the money and just wants to do what her wants to do. Yeah.
And I think the money problem does cause tension between them because I think, just like Kiwi said, Huang did not trust the Navy's family by giving them the money. And I think maybe Navy did not care about the money, but I think because Huang have some discrimination to the cross-country marriage, so I think her husband is think that their marriage built on money, so maybe the money problem really caused the tension between them.
And I agree with both of your opinions. I think money problem will really cause some serious tension between couples because we all need money to live on. And before Huang married Navy, maybe he did not know Navy has a lot of family members in Cambodia, and maybe he didn't know they are poor in Cambodia and they need money to build their house or buy some daily properties. So I think before their marriage, Huang did not know such things. So he think he just want to buy a marriage. She just want a woman to be his wife, but he didn't know what he do caused a lot of problem.
Yeah, and maybe he didn't know her background.
Yeah, he didn't know his background.
Yeah. So, what do you think about cross-country marriage? Yes.
I think cross-country marriage have both people in different country and different culture. So the cross-country marriage, I think, is a kind of big problem and a big difficulty for people to understand each people's culture and their lifestyle, and they have to adjust themselves to live with each other. So I think cross-country marriage is now still a challenge for the people from a different country and get married. So if both people really love each other, they can deal with this problem. But I think it's depend on the people from a different country.
And I also think cross-country marriage is difficult to sustain because maybe, as Daniel said, they have different perspective and they have different opinions about money, religion, job, or some other things. So maybe they need to compromise to each other, and it needs time. And maybe we don't have enough patience to make time to adjust to each other. And maybe some religion problem will cause bigger problems because if the wife is a Christian and her husband is a Buddhist, I think maybe they will argue about which God is the true God.
Yeah.
And
they will fight.
They will fight with their religion belief.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it is difficult to
And the way
get together.
they are praying is different.
Different. Maybe they eat different food.
Yeah. And for me, as in my experience, my youngest uncle, he married a woman is from China, and it caused many problems in my family because the first one is the language.
But China's also taught.
No, because
They
my
have strong accent?
my
Strong accent.
like my grandmother, she cannot understand Chinese. She
Oh.
speaks Taiwanese.
Oh.
So every time they are talking with each other, like
They have
fighting.
gap.
Yeah, they have so many conflicts, and also the way she's my auntie, she speaks Chinese is very fast, and so my grandma will think that she is like
From her.
yeah.
Oh.
So it's very it causes very
Conflict.
tension, and also my grandma will think that my auntie doesn't want to live in the family. Yeah, so it's very difficult to
Solve this problem.
yeah.
And do you think Nevi's husband can do more job than just sell the flower in the nightclub?
I think he can, but I'm not sure why he chose to sell flowers in nightclub. Because I think he's smart. Yeah, although he has the disability because of the when he was young, he got a fever and caused what he has now, and she is the like a presentative, how to say the word, to like speak out for the foreign wife or husband's right. Yeah, so I think maybe he can do other job like representative the man who like work for
Who call for some rights of
Yeah.
other people.
yes.
Yeah. Oh.
You mean walk on the street and fight for the right?
He should go.
he can.
He can go on a strike
Yeah.
to call for some rights.
Yes.
And I think I wonder why he just sell flowers, because we know he has some mental problems. I think maybe he can do some simple jobs, not just sell flowers in the nightclub. Maybe he can just walk on the street and deliver some flyers. I think it is simple. And maybe he can go to the car factory to wash the cars. It didn't need to use a lot of mental activities to do that. And maybe he can go to the gas station to help the person to get some gasoline. And I think these things are simple for him to do. He can afford to do that, and he can earn some money from that.
And I think he cannot just sell the flower, because I think although he has some problem, but I think he is clever, and I think he can do like share a speech to the school, like a movie show us, and he can do some job more complicated, not just easy as sell flower.
Yeah.
But I think he just sell flower. Maybe other boss in the job didn't want the people have this problem.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of difficulty for him to find a job. So maybe I think the sell flower is safe for him, and he can get the money, and he can support his family.
Maybe because when people see him, will have the sympathy, so they are willing to buy the flowers from him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe Huang can get much money. Yeah, because of people's sympathy. Yes.
But the boss is not maybe the boss not like the people have some problem and
Yeah,
the
because
weird look.
it is
So
very ineffective to hire them to do things
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
their actions are too slow.
Yeah.
And their action is very weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And based on Daniel's question, I want to ask, what kinds of jobs do you think Navy can do in Taiwan?
Navy can do, and I think Navy can do just like other people from the Philippines or Cambodia or some Malaysia.
Yeah.
They just have their kind of job is go to the factory to work or
Oh.
take care with the people in the old age or take
Yeah.
care with people with some disease or some mental problem or some physical problem. So I think, but I think Navy can break this rule because I think he's clever than other people who come from other country. So I think he can do the job like she can take care other parents' children in the kindergarten like because I think she can take care of her daughter very well.
Oh, so you think she can be a babysitter?
Yeah,
Babysitter.
babysitter.
Yeah.
Oh, I think maybe because her family are poor, so she cannot get educated. So in Taiwan, maybe she cannot do the job like needs the like you are expert.
You mean
Yeah.
the knowledge in the expert field?
Yeah, because she didn't get educated, and we don't know what she is good at. Yeah, so she maybe just can do what you say. Maybe the things don't need too much knowledge. Yeah.
But I think she's very clever because she can talk the Mandarin very fluent.
Yeah.
So I think she can learn knowledge because I think Mandarin is a very difficult language in the world, and she can learn it very well. So I think she can learn other kind of knowledge very fast and very well.
Yeah.
And I agree with both of your opinions. I think he can speak Mandarin Chinese fluently and correctly. So I think maybe if she wants, she can be a teacher who taught Cambodia language, because we know nowadays many factories move to Southern
Yeah.
Asia to reduce the cost on manufacturing.
Yeah.
So I think lots of people want to learn how to speak Cambodian language. So I think if she can use her own language to teach Taiwanese students, maybe she can have a good pay.
Yeah.
Maybe our university can hire her to teach our second official language, not just Thailand.
Not
Not just-
official.
Oh.
It's too.
The second language is
Yeah.
our
language
department,
acquisition.
Yeah.
like Thailand and Korean and other language.
Yeah, because now we are cross-cultural world, so
Yeah.
we need to learn other language to communicate with each other.
But if she was hired by our school, do you go to her class?
No, I
No?
don't like the language in South Asia because I think their language is difficult to understand when they say.
I agree with you.
And
When
maybe
they
just they say this kind of language is not worthy for you to learn.
yeah, and when they say this language, they say it very fast and
Like birds.
yeah, and like the machine gun is so you cannot understand it right away. So but if you can master this language, I think it's very good for you to communicate with these people.
And have a job.
Yeah, and you can build a factory at that place and hire the people to
Yeah.
earn money.
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that the gap of age difference will influence on a couple? Because we know that Huang is older than Navy 20 years.
Really,
20 years
It's
is
a
a
big
big
gap.
gap.
Yeah.
I think if they love each other, I think the gap of age is not the difficulty between them. It just if they respect each other, they can communicate each other well, and they can adjust themselves in both each of them's lifestyle. I think age is not a problem. The gap of age is not a problem. And if I met a woman I love, but she is 50, I think I will accept this marriage. I think the marriage is. I think the gap of age is not a difficulty for me.
Oh, you are very romantic.
Because I love her, so
Yeah.
I'm a romantic person.
How about 70?
I think
I think
70.
it is too-
She can be my grandma, so I will not accept it. I think the gap of my range is 30 to 50.
It's a big gap. I
Yeah,
think.
if I already reach the age, if I'm 30, I can accept 30 to 50, but above 50 I think it's too old for me.
And I think age problems is a big problem in the marriage, because I think I can only accept the gap of 5 years old.
Just
My
5?
yeah, just 5. My gap is a
Too
little
small.
narrow. So I think
narrow.
10 and 20 and 30 to 40 or to 50 is too large. I cannot avoid, because I think we cannot communicate with each other.
So younger than you is okay?
Yeah,
Oh.
but too young is not
Not good.
proper, because maybe I cannot understand what he said. So I think plus 5 or minus 5 can be accepted.
Yeah. For me, I think it's a problem because the life experience are different.
Yeah.
So they consider different aspects in their life. Like maybe Huang thinks that he needs to save money. Yeah. But Navy thinks this is how money spend. Yeah.
Spend it.
Yeah, so it's a problem, but I think it can be solved. Just communicate with each other, because it's not a big problem.
Yeah.
And I think my reason to choose the woman older than me, because I think in nowadays women usually live longer than men. So I think if woman is older than me, I think maybe we can die together at the same age.
So you don't want her go first then?
Yeah, I think if her girlfriend she go first, I will feel lonely.
Will you suicide after she dies?
No, I will live lonely until I pass away, but I will not commit suicide. I think suicide is very unrational.
And immoral.
Yeah.
I think you will say because you maybe pass away before her, so you will feel lonely, and she will feel lonely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is our discussion. Bye, Mark.
Bye.
Bye.